Hi, Janet.
Hello.
How are you this evening, this afternoon? Doing okay?
Yes, I am. Thank
Oh,
you.
beautiful. Well, thank you for coming on and joining us, and welcome to Rare Awareness Radio. And we're joined by Janet Vasquez, another friend of ours from the FAM177A1, I guess, family community, right? Is really what
Yes.
you're part of. And this is a wonderful continuation of an ongoing series that we've been doing around FAM177A1. And I'm so happy that you're here and that you and I got to talk a couple weeks ago and kind of plan out what we were going to chat about. And I would just love for you, Janet, to kind of start with an introduction, a little bit about you, the family, your girls. It would be great for you to just say hello in your own words.
Of course, and thank you for having me. Well, my name is Janet Vasquez. My husband couldn't be here, but his name is Luis Perez. And really, we're just an ordinary family in a lot
Yep.
of ways, right? So we love football. We're big Dallas Cowboys fans. My husband has even taught Bella Dak Prescott's cadence. I believe that's what it's called.
Yeah. Yeah. His
So
count cadence. Yeah.
yeah, so he'll say, "Here we go," and Bella will repeat it, and then she'll say, "Hut," right? And then we're watching football, and she picks up her arm. She say, "Touchdown!" So
Nice.
we've gotten her there. We have the jerseys. Also, I mean, our favorite holiday is Halloween. Every year we try to dress up, kind of matching. Dad's a big horror film
No,
fan,
that's
so
so cool.
last year we were dressed up as Ghostface.
Okay.
That
Yeah. Yep.
from Scream, right?
The
So the
scream.
girls,
Yeah.
yeah, they sewed a costume with a like a skirt, and it was like the ghost face sweater. So super fun. We like to decorate the home for Christmas. The girls love the lights. Their favorite is the Christmas tree, right? I mean, like I said, we're just an
Your
ordinary
normal family.
family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and the girls they just love trick or treating because they get to go out in their wheelchairs and they go for a ride, right?
Awesome.
They don't typically eat a lot of candy, but, they just know that we're having fun. They get to stay up late because I
Yeah.
try not to
That's all that
let it.
matters. Yeah.
Yes. But of course, our girls are our world. They're sweet, they're funny, they're really sassy as well.
Aw.
Um, but, being their parent has been one of the greatest gifts of our lives,
Sure.
despite all the challenges that they have, that this diagnosis has brought. We're still what I'm trying to say is we're still, doing the normal things that other
Yeah.
families
I
do.
get it.
But yeah.
Yeah, I get it. So when Bella was your firstborn, right?
Yeah.
And then Emma came secondly. When Bella was about 4 months old, I guess, is right when you started to kinda see something, feel something, and then you kinda went on this we call the diagnostic discovery, right? So kinda talk to us a little bit about that experience, Janet, please.
Of course.
Yeah.
So when she was around that age, I was a Head Start teacher, but I had
Oh, okay.
children from like 3 years old to 5 years old.
Okay.
When I was pregnant with her, though, I did have the infant. I mean, I took care of the infant classroom. So I
Mm.
saw as young as maybe like 2 months old to a year.
Mm.
So I knew what typical babies, could do, right?
Sure.
How they were developing. So at 4 months old, Bella was not even smiling or
Mm.
laughing.
Mm.
I mean, we would do the silly faces and nothing.
Yeah.
So that was really one of the biggest signs, like, okay, what's going on.
Right.
um, Also, she was really floppy. That's the
Mm.
best way I could describe it. I
Mm.
didn't have the term for it. I mean, I was just a Head Start teacher. I had no clinical words, I guess you could say.
Sure, sure.
Now I know that it's called hypotonia, but she was very, very floppy. She
Mm.
felt like a rag doll, is what I
Yeah.
explained to the doctors. So that I think in itself was the even bigger sign, because I mean I'd carry these babies I mean it was just very, very different.
Yeah.
Um, what else? So
So you that already kinda puts you so if you fast forward a little bit to Emma, you were kind of already on high alert, right? When you started to
yes,
see similar things coming from a milestone perspective for Emma as well, I guess, right?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
that is right.
Yeah.
At first, I mean, I didn't know what, I
Yeah.
guess, a word to put to it, right? But my sister, because I am the youngest of six.
Okay.
So
Wow.
my oldest sister, I remember she sent me a text like, "Sis, I think Bella has autism," right? I mean,
Mhm.
autism to me, it was still very, very new.
Right.
I know her husband's a nurse, so I guess
Mhm.
he's seen it before.
Sure.
And just receiving that text, right? I mean,
Right.
my heart dropped.
Yeah.
She's 12 years older than me, so everything she says it's
Yeah,
like
she take
I
it
don't
very
take.
seriously. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. She was like my second mom growing
Mhm.
up. So
Sure.
it's not like, like you said, I took her very seriously. So that kind
Yeah.
of scared me in itself. And I was like, oh man, what does this mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but it wasn't easy because I remember telling my concerns to my husband and then the pediatrician, and she
Mhm.
kind of dismissed me like, no, all babies
Mm.
are different.
Mm.
She'll get there. I mean, and then, progressing over time, she's 8 months old and she can't even sit down,
Yeah, so you're
like,
like, "This is serious." Yeah, this is very
yes.
serious, yeah. Yeah, not to digress for a second, Janet, but my
Mhm.
wife was an early Head Start teacher. She was also a early intervention, specialist as well, working with infants and toddlers, so it's kinda cool that the 2 of you have that in common. Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
you guys are special kinda people, let me tell you.
I
Um
loved it.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So you finally got a name. They finally said to you, "This is FAM177A1," right? And of course, you don't know what that is, but I know you started connecting with Jill Hawkins, other
Mhm.
families. How did that kinda come about, Janet, that kinda community, and what did you do? I guess, did you start Googling the term? I mean, how did you react
Well,
to that?
I kind of want to take it a little bit back, right?
Please. Yeah.
Because so we actually moved to Beaumont, Texas. I'm from a small town in Alton, Texas.
Okay.
Beaumont is like 370 miles away.
Okay.
So at that time that I moved, I was pregnant with Emma.
Okay.
Um, Dad was working in the refineries. So I had no one. I had no
You're on your own.
family.
Yeah.
Yes, on my own. Like you said, I was super, what was that
Like
word you said?
alert, like really
Alert,
alert
yes.
to, yeah, high alert. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly right.
Yep.
So I was already feeling alone. And then I was scared, like, okay, is my other daughter gonna be the same
Mm.
way as Bella? I'm alone. What am I gonna do? And when I say I felt very alone, my husband would work 12-hour
Yeah,
shifts.
he's working all the time. Yeah, yeah.
The refinery was like an hour away, so he had to wake up at 4 in the morning, drive. He'd come home till like 6, just
Mhm.
eat, shower, and sleep.
Yep,
Right. So
repeat. Yep, yep,
exactly. So
yep.
I really, really was alone. I mean, I cried so much. And then
Yeah.
Emma was born.
Mm.
So I noticed she was smiling and laughing. I was like, okay, this brings me some sort of hope.
A little comfort. Yeah, yeah.
But then I would do the tummy time again. I'm a Head Start teacher. I would do the tummy time, all the things that we've been told to do, and she couldn't even pick up her head.
Mm.
She was even floppier than Bella. So
Wow.
it was like, okay, here we go again, right?
Mhm.
And what am I gonna do? I'm gonna be alone with two children. Bella was about to turn 2 when Emma was born, so I was just very, very scared. I think Bella learned to walk like a month before Emma came home.
Yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
remember from, well, we were just for a minute before we were on air, we were talking about your recent YouTube video that you recorded, and I remember listening to that, and you were telling the story of, well, not Bella walking for the first time, but Emma walking for the
yes,
first
Emma
time.
walking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So then, you know, um, the pediatrician at the time in Beaumont, Texas, referred me to Texas Children's Hospital. We
Mm,
saw a developmental pediatrician there. She was amazing.
mm,
She's evaluating Bella. We go back and she's giving me, the diagnosis of autism. And little did I know that she was silently watching Emma too.
mm,
So towards the end of the visit, she tells me, Mom, I'd really like you to see Emma or bring
mm.
Emma in so I can evaluate her because she looks like she might have,
Yeah,
some sort of
something similar. Yeah, yeah,
delay as well. And
yeah.
I'm here thinking, I wrote down the dates just to remember. So Bella was
Sure.
diagnosed with autism in 2018. That means
Okay.
Emma was like 6 months. So the
Okay.
doctor at 6 months noticed what I was already noticing, so that kinda just put me in a darker place, like, okay,
Yeah.
I was kind of trying to, like, lie to myself, I guess you can say, like, "No, right,
Right.
maybe things will get better," but her reaching out to me on her own, just kind of put it into perspective, like, no, it's we're going down the same road. But she was amazing because it at that time, I think even right now, it's like a long time to get an appointment for an
Mhm.
autism diagnosis.
Mhm.
So she kind of helped me skip through it all.
Nice.
Um,
Yeah.
so then she finally diagnosed Emma with autism August 13 of 2019.
Mm.
So at that time, we had the resources. Early intervention was
Yep.
coming to the house. They were getting all three types of therapy. We were moving in a good place.
In the
Of
right
course,
direction. Yeah.
yeah, we didn't have the official name for it. Nobody
Mhm.
ever mentioned really genetic
Mhm.
testing, and then COVID hit. Um, yes, exactly, right. So I know a lot of families. It affected a lot of families. We ended up having to move back home to the Rio
Oh,
Grande Valley.
okay.
Um, Did I mean, nobody could go to work in person.
Right.
Refineries, they closed everything down, so we ended up moving in with my parents, and then eventually we got an apartment. But during that time, I was scared, like, okay, they were receiving all these amazing therapies, these amazing doctors
And
were
now they're
seeing them in
gone. Yeah.
Houston.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? So that scared me even more.
Mm.
But of course, things happen for a reason.
Right.
Um, we met Dr. Robert Stratton from the Driscoll Children's Hospital. Right
Mhm.
away, he said, I think we need to do some genetic testing
Okay. So
because,
this is the first time anyone had
yeah,
mentioned genetic testing to you?
yes,
Wow.
I believe the Houston doctor said something, but they never really tried
Yeah.
to,
Followed up
right?
on it. Yeah.
Exactly. But he did tell dad and I, like, okay, so I mean, one child having the exact same symptoms as the other child, that kind of screams genes to me. So I
Yeah.
really want to test them. But then we had to jump over another hurdle. The Medicaid plan that the girls were on at that time,
Didn't
it
cover.
it
Right.
they didn't think it was medically necessary
Mhm.
to test them. So here I go again, just feeling defeated.
Yeah.
But I changed plans. I mean, I started all over again. I had to wait for the plan to change,
Kick
and then
in. Yep. Yep.
the referral. So finally, they got their genetic testing, and he let us know,
Wow.
hey, this is FAM177A1,
Right.
and dad and I are like,
Like, what is that? Yeah. That's like alphabet. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're at the office. I'm trying to Google, and I'm like, nothing's coming up. What
Yeah.
is this? Right. So that made it even scarier. But he gave me all this paperwork, like, you can reach out.
Yeah.
This is parent of children with the same disease, and I'm like, okay, awesome, right? I mean, I'm not alone. I have a name, and I even dug back through my emails, and I found that I emailed Jill on April 27th, 2022, just
Wow.
introducing myself and, like, reaching out, like, hey, so it looks like our children have the same thing. I just kind of want to know more.
Yeah.
And that's how our relationship
Wow.
started.
Well, thank you for taking us through all of that. That was really important and so much more all encompassing than so this wow, so April of 2022. So this is 1, 2, 3. This is 25. So 3 years ago. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. And when you think about you talked a little bit about this for a minute, Janet, at the beginning. You mentioned Halloween and Christmas, and the
Mhm.
girls love all these things, and football, and the Cowboys. But what's a typical day now, like right now for you and your kids? Like, what does that look like, and how does that kind of how do you handle the mobility challenges and other things?
Yeah, well, they're very busy.
Hmm.
They're unpredictable. They do center around the girls though a lot.
Yeah,
So they, like mentioned, they have Medicaid. I don't know where
yeah.
you're from. If you've heard of Medicaid or what
I know
it's
Medicaid.
called.
I've worked
Oh,
for large Medicaid plans, so I'm very familiar. Yeah. Yep.
okay.
Yep.
So they have that. They're on a waiver program.
Hmm.
So
Yep. Yeah.
that
Waiver.
that
Yep.
even they helps even further, right?
That's
So
good. Yep.
we have a provider or
Mm.
slash caregiver for the girls. It happens to be my sister-in-law, my husband's sister. So,
Nice.
having someone doing
Someone
the
in the
job
family. Yeah.
because they care
Right.
also helps, right? But From the morning, we get up, medication right at 7 in the morning for their seizures, their
Mm.
ADHD. She comes in, helps get them dressed, prepped. Bella, right now, she's going to ABA therapy from 10 a.m. to 4.
Okay, wow, that's a
Um,
long day. Yeah, yeah,
it,
and
it
I,
is.
my sister's an ABA therapist, so with another thing we have in common, so which is interesting. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome. That's a
yeah,
very important
yeah.
title and job to have. So thank you for that.
Mm,
So yes, right. So she comes in, she helps get Bella prepped. At this time, Dad's getting dressed, showering because he has to take Bella in.
yeah.
I work from home, so I'm
Okay.
trying to get
Get
ready.
online and do what you need to do. Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
trying to get Bella's lunch ready for the day, and then watching Emma, and then so Dad takes Bella to therapy, and then she stays with Emma, prepares her food, and I start working. But on
yeah.
maybe like on a weekend, it's nonstop.
Wow. Yeah,
Really, we really really appreciate her help because it's. I mean, I can't even explain.
yeah.
It used to be where, to be completely honest, we had to put Bella in a car seat. Like, if I was alone with the girls, I had
Sure.
to put Bella in a car seat because if she was alone even 1 second, she could burn the house.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
said she
even
was a
joking.
Houdini, right? She's a Houdini. Yeah.
Yes. So
She
we're hoping to
escapes.
get maybe
Yeah,
like an activity chair or
yeah,
something, but it was that bad. But so I'm so thankful for the caregiving services.
yeah,
But that's what it is. I mean, we have to keep them motivated throughout the day because they get bored easily. So
yeah,
I try to go outside. We walk them in the trampoline, just baths to keep them kind of
yeah.
happy. And but then you think it's over and done with when bedtime comes, but Emma wakes up in the middle of the night. Bella wakes
Yes.
up, her
Yeah.
seizures. That's when Bella has we call them ugly seizures, but when she convulses more during her
Mm,
sleep.
mm.
So we're hyper vigilant. We even had to buy I don't know if you're aware of a SAMI camera.
I don't know what that is. No. Yeah.
Okay, so being mom, I Googled and researched the best camera because they were about to get their safety beds. Dad and I were finally, after 9 years, gonna sleep in our own room.
Wow.
We've always had it, but we just never been able to
Never to
sleep.
be there. Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So I found a SAMI camera. It was created by parents with children with epilepsy.
Huh.
So it could detect like eye flutters.
Oh, wow. So
Uh,
it's very, very, very sensitive. Yeah,
yes, it
yeah,
rings a very, very loud alarm that has worked. It's woken us up in the middle of the night. She was convulsing, we turned her over. So I mean, we had to get all that cameras. I mean, it's just y
yeah.
we can try to say that, we finally get peace when they're asleep, but no, because they're constantly waking up
Yeah, you're
having
kinda waiting.
seizures.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
that's kind of how our day-to-day looks
Kinda
like,
works, yeah.
really.
Yeah, and the last time you and I spoke over email, at least, you were changing some meds around for Bella, and it was helping, moving in the right direction. Are we still experiencing that positivity?
Yes,
Yeah,
so that was a very scary time when I had to cancel last time
yeah.
because I believe maybe, like, the day prior, she had 7 convulsive
Wow.
seizures in
Yeah.
one day. She slept
Wow.
all day, and it was horrible. So,
Mm.
but it looks like with the increase of her medication, we haven't seen one
Good,
since
good.
then.
Yeah,
But yes.
yeah, yeah. Is there something, Janet, that you kind of, wish that more people understood about your life and raising children with a rare neurodevelopmental disorder? Or is it just you kind of like, people live their lives, I live my life. It's just, you know.
No, I mean, I wish, that they could understand that it's not just hard, it's constant. It's
Yeah.
it's an everyday thing,
Mm.
nonstop.
Right.
This world, to put it really honestly, it wasn't made for our children. It wasn't
Right.
built for them,
Right.
right?
You have
So,
space limitations, you have all kinds of things. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
talking about that, if I can,
Sure.
just last month we went to the beach. We were like, okay, let's try the beach.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness, Richard, it was the worst experience of my life.
Oh,
So
no.
that I can say right now.
Yeah.
They were super happy.
Of course. Yeah.
But Emma started eating the sand.
Yeah.
Bella was trying to go into the ocean further and further, and you've heard stories, I'm pretty sure, children, even adults losing their lives, and so that was just
Oh,
scary
it's
in
too scary. You have to
itself.
respect the ocean. Yeah, it's very scary. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. So,
yeah.
I told my husband, I'm like, "I'm gonna take Emma to change her." The restrooms were so far away. Emma started walking, and we couldn't use her wheelchair in the sand, but
Right.
she had a full-on tantrum as soon as I removed her from the water. So,
Huh,
my older sister, the one I told you that she's 12
yeah.
years older than me, she helped me. We were taking turns carrying her because the sand is extremely hot,
Hot and it's uneven and yeah.
and she's over here, like, wailing and
Uh,
pulling our hair, trying to throw my glasses. She's so upset, and, we finally get to the restroom. I change her. Unfortunately, I had to put in her wheelchair, and
yeah.
then coming back, I see a small sign, "Beach wheelchairs available if you call so
Oh,
and
no. I
so."
was gonna ask you if the girls had a beach wheelchair. Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah,
with the question that you asked me, that's kind of the problem. I
yeah.
I wasn't aware that
Right,
existed,
right, and yeah,
you know?
ahead of time. Yeah, so there's not enough information, right? Yeah,
Exactly. So, I
yeah.
mean, I don't a lot of the families don't know about the resources that are out there, what can help us. So that's kind of what I want people to understand, just
Mm,
bring the awareness. If there's resources, just let us know. Cause I mean, that would have been a godsend,
yeah.
if I knew that
Just
that
that simple
existed.
thing. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. And so just that simple thing turned that day into an experience that I do not want to repeat. Maybe in the future, beforehand, I'll get that beach wheelchair. But for now, I'm kind of staying away
You're
from
okay
it.
with the beach. Yeah, the beach is done.
Well,
Well,
with the girls, yes.
yeah, yeah. You've well, and that's speaking of like you're saying you wish people understood these resources were available, Janet, or more information. You have done a lot of advocacy yourself, for your girls, for rare disease research. Tell us a little bit about the advocacy work that you've been trying to do, and future treatments, things that are really important to you.
Well, just in itself, I mean, I'm trying to educate people about the
Mm,
disease, right?
right.
Starting with my family, people at work.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't think I ever asked anybody that. Like, you have to not just educate, you have to educate your own family about this. Yeah, it's a really important point that you just made. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
exactly. So, I mean, I even sent them the link to my YouTube video.
yep,
When Jill gives me any piece of information, I try to tell them I don't understand much of it because
right.
it's like mumbo jumbo
Yeah,
medical
technical
stuff.
jargon. Yeah, 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 yeah.
So it's really hard. And my parents, bless their souls, they don't really know English. So I
You
mean,
have to
I know.
translate for them. Yeah,
Yes, and I'm able to. I can read, write, and all
yeah,
that good stuff in Spanish, but it kind of like, how do I translate the medical
right.
jargon, like you said, to make them understand, right? So
Mm,
it's really hard, but I,
mm.
I do try my best. I'm on TikTok, and I think I
Oh,
even make
cool.
the hashtag of FAM177A1.
Awesome.
So that's kind of what I'm doing, and just posting my daughter's milestones and kind of talking a little bit about FAM or FAM research.
Yep.
That's what I try to do. Um,
Mm.
that's all I feel right now that I'm capable of doing. Just bringing that awareness to people.
Yeah, yeah, and the research fund, right? The FAM
Yeah.
177A1 research fund, it's a very important part of the story here, right? And what's the easiest way, I guess we'll get that out of the way right now, Janet. What's the easiest way for people to support that research fund?
Mhm. I feel like it starts by caring for one,
Mhm.
right? I mean, because with caring comes that, okay, if you can, donate, bring
Sure.
awareness, because I mean, just like Jill, she didn't let the diagnosis, bring her down.
Right.
She turned this into something so beautiful, right? I mean,
Mm.
the community, the connection, and because of that, that's how it's starting. The research fund is getting, I think they raised $260,000
Yeah,
for Am
yeah,
Jam.
yeah,
So
amazing.
that was amazing. Yes. So what did she do? She cared. She didn't give up. So
Right.
that's what I feel listeners should should start by
Yep.
caring
By caring. Yep.
and raising that awareness. And if they can donate, if they can't, just sharing our stories, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
If they listen to this, like, oh wow, share it with your neighbor, your family member, a friend. I mean,
Mhm.
everything matters at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. And yet you mentioned Fam Jam, and that seems like that was a great success this year, and being able to raise $250,000 is just so important, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. One of the things, and I talked to Jill about this too when I met her, and I say this to a lot of moms and dads like yourself, is you don't, you have so much that you're trying to handle, right? As we've just talked about,
Yes.
simple outing to the beach or whatever. And you could just kind of spend your time worrying about your own little family and your own
Mhm.
little nucleus, but you don't, right? You're like, I gotta build community. I gotta help other people. I gotta raise awareness. Is it because that was what you needed to and you found it? Or tell me a little bit about the thought process, Janet, around like why, when you have so much to worry about, why do you worry about others?
Because yes, like you said, right? I mean, I felt alone before I
Mm,
got the diagnosis, before connecting with Jill. So I really don't want families who receive the diagnosis to feel alone in
yeah,
the future, right? I want
yeah,
them to have at least local support groups. We're such a small community right now that
sure.
my support group is many, many miles away.
Yeah.
With Jill, I had a question because Charlotte is, I think she's 18, 19 at the.
About that. Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Uh,
Don't worry about it.
she's 18, 19 right now, I believe. So I reach out to her like,
Yeah.
Bella's going through puberty. Can you help me with these questions?
Yeah.
It would be amazing if I had a mom to go get coffee with and ask
Yeah.
her these questions. Or if she wants to ask me, hey, how did Bella do? As she was going through puberty, I want to be that for someone.
Right.
So that's why I feel it's very important. And I reach out to her for other stuff. I mean, when Bella started getting the convulsion type seizures, I reached out, like, hey, did Charlotte go through this when she started puberty? Because that's what the doctors think it is. And she told me her point of view, or how Charlotte went through it growing up. So that's what I want to be to
Yeah.
other families, and I just want them to mainly to know that they're not alone, right? Or to
Mm.
not feel alone.
I mean, that I think is what I've often heard from moms like you, is it's like, I felt very alone. I found this community. It made me feel less alone. So I need to pay that forward, right? I need to find a way to do that for others. I think it's really interesting what you also said too about with Jill, because her daughter is, a few years older than yours, ahead of yours. You can say, okay, when she was at this point, did she experience this? Because that's what Bella's experiencing now. And then when Emma gets there, you'll have Bella as the sort of,
Yes.
opportunity for you there. Yeah. When parents get this diagnosis, and they hear that their child has been diagnosed with a rare disease, um, you know, I know then, like you, it starts this process of trying to understand and navigate. But what would be your message if someone was to find out today that their child had a rare disease diagnosis? What would be the message that I guess you would give to them, Janet?
Um, I I wanna let them know, right, that they will celebrate the smallest wins.
Mm,
What I did not mention from the girls, I know you brought it up with Emma starting to walk.
yeah.
She's so silly. So now that she knows how to walk, she puts on my shoes.
Oh, so cute.
She's able to walk in them, right? So
Yeah.
she's experiencing this joy,
Yeah.
right? So it's not just about the dark days; it's about the joyous days.
These little
Bella,
small joys. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Bella, with her speech therapy, the speech therapist comes to the home. She used to be mostly nonverbal, one word sentences. So now when she really wants something, she says, I want, and then she names whatever she wants, right? So
Wow.
yesterday, for example, she had already eaten her dinner, and we're like, Bella, no more, no more. You already ate. And she used her words, I want more.
Mm.
How can you say no to that?
Right, right, right. Yeah, but she used her words like you said, it's yeah, that's amazing. Yeah.
So, and that's what I want them to know, that it's not just about being in a dark place, feeling
Right.
alone. You can celebrate their victories or milestones because they get excited. So
Mhm.
we get excited
You get
for
excited.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just it's amazing. So I want them to always remember that advocating for your child, it just being there for them, loving them, that's our superpower as a,
Yeah.
as a mom, as a dad, right?
Yeah.
Because they're the ones going through the challenging days, difficult days. We're just kind of spectators, even though we kind of live it a little bit,
I
but
understand. Yeah.
they're the ones that are going through it, right? They're
No, I understand what you're saying. You think like
right.
it's this is happening to me, but it's happening to them, really.
Exactly. We're on the
Yeah.
bench. They're the quarterback.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Good football reference. Yeah.
Yes. So
Well, I appreciate that, and the small joys and victories, lifting your spirits through the dark days. I think that's a really important message that you're delivering to other moms and dads and other caregivers here right now. So Janet, what's next for you and the girls? I mean, is it really just to kind of continue to drive through daily life and determination? Do you have any other aspirations? I mean, I know you probably hope for many wonderful things for your children, but what's next for the Vasquez family? Yeah.
if I am being really, really honest and very real with you,
Yeah.
what I really dream most is that when their dad and I are no longer here,
Yeah.
that they're not alone, because that
Right.
that's really the fear that keeps me up at night. It it
Sure.
it, it drives me, right? It weighs heavy on my heart. I want to know that they'll always be cared for,
Sure.
protected, surrounded by people who love them for who they are, and that's why I fight so hard. That's why,
Mm.
I when Jill told me about this, I was like, oh heck yes, right?
Yeah.
I want to share our story because I'm desperately hoping for a cure, or at the very least, something that can make their lives easier,
Sure.
safer, more independent, something that makes the idea of leaving them behind a little less terrifying.
Mm.
Because they make my day. I mean, like I said, they're super silly. They make me laugh. I mean, just
They're
with
so cute. The
everything.
video I watched is so cute. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. But
Yeah.
not always gonna be here.
Yeah.
That
I get it.
that
Yeah.
is that's just the scariest thing, and that's the reason for this interview, even just
Yeah.
sharing my story, getting that awareness, because
Awareness. Yep.
if I can't get a cure by the time I'm gone, I'm gonna be devastated, or it's something
Yeah.
to help them. So I just I want them to keep learning, growing, and I want them to keep saying I want more, and
Yeah.
not just with food, right? With life
With
itself.
life, I want more from life. Exactly. Yeah. Well, we're gonna keep hoping against all hope that that's the case, Janet. Before we let you go, do you want to plug your TikTok or anything to where people can find you and find more about you?
Um,
Yeah.
sure. Can I get out? I don't even know my name on
You know
TikTok.
what? I'll find it. We'll put it
Okay.
we'll put it in the links. That's
I'm
just
so
fine.
sorry.
I know that's okay. I know people we'll find it. We'll get you found. But mostly let's make sure people reach out to the FAM177A1 research fund, right? And see
Mhm.
what support they can offer there. And Janet, I want to thank you so much for taking some time to tell your story, Bella's story, Emma's story, your husband's story. Thank you so much, and I hope we can just bring a little bit more awareness to this for you and your family. So thank you.
Of course, you're very welcome. And I appreciate it. And thank you for having me, really.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks.
Of course.